Coming September 1st, Rewind 9/11.
Today, we've had a national tragedy.
An incredible plane crash into the World Trade Center.
A look back at the tragedy of that day.
Another explosion has taken place at the Pentagon.
It became very apparent that what was happening was terrorism.
Fox News presents Rewind 9/11.
People who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Listen on Odyssey.
Sure. Fewer people are taking in the Minnesota State Fair than in recent history. But you know, all things considered, the numbers aren't that bad.
Just less than 62,000 people attended the fair on Thursday. According to the State Fair archives, that's the lowest attendance in at least 20 years.
Yeah, that's down 50% from 2019. But when you think about it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday too, first few days are rainy, bad. All things considered, the money. Is that a Minnesota way of saying something about the Minnesota State Fair? No. It could have been worse. Everyone stay safe out there. Love you. Let's get going. Hey, it's today's top three.
Today's top three. Number one.
We should all live like this. Yeah, I guess if only it were this easy. You know, my kids are young enough, they're 6 and 5, where every morning is a great morning. They pop out of bed, they're happy, they're smiling, and they don't fully know that summer vacation is over and that they start school tomorrow.
Back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
School is starting, and the Minnesota Department of Health wants you to mask up. That's students, teachers, and staff. They want them to mask up inside regardless of vaccination status. Why? Well, the Delta variant is crazy contagious. MDH data showing cases from schools, camps, and childcare increased nearly 50% from last week. In Albert Lea, 36 students tested positive in the first 5 days of school, and now nearly 300 are quarantined because of exposure. Yes, there's a rise, but we still need our kids in school. Yes, we do. They need to be there for their education, for socializing, for their mental health. But if we want all these things, we need to protect them in small, easy ways. Masking and social distancing. And, of course, washing hands and staying home when you're sick. Last day of summer vacation for our kids, they actually start tomorrow. And there's this realization that summer is over just like that. Snap of the fingers, the 4 best months of the year behind us. And something actually happened yesterday that reminded me of this. What's your random summer is over event? Like in your life that you just know every single year you do it, whatever it is that you have to do, and you're like, well, summer is over. Shoot me a text on that, 651-989-9226. That's at 920.
Number two.
You know, what's going to happen between now and tomorrow, our self-imposed deadline in Afghanistan? It's been chaotic, but here's the reality. Innocent people are dying on both sides. Innocent people are representing the United States, people who weren't even born when the reason we went there happened.
These American service members who gave their lives, it's an overused word, but it's totally appropriate here, were heroes. Heroes who've been engaged in a dangerous, selfless mission to save the lives of others.
President Biden speaking on the 13 American soldiers, service members who were killed in Afghanistan. And this one really hit me hard. 12 of those 13 American service members were born within a few years of 9/11. The oldest was 31. Other than that, they were all 20, 21, 22, 19. In fact, 5 of them were 20 years old. And we're just coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Think about that. Put that into perspective. 12 of these 13 people, that's their whole life. They didn't know a time before Afghanistan or the fact that we've been there at war. And they don't even know the full reason why we're there. And our drone strikes in response to that, more death. The U.S. drone strikes targeting the Islamic State killed 10 civilians in Kabul, including several small kids. That's what family members told the Washington Post on Monday. The dead were all from a single extended family and were getting out of a car in their driveway when the strike hit a nearby vehicle. Innocent children in Afghanistan. When did we forget it's we, the people of the United States? We talked about that a little bit last week. I'm going to bring it back because it's important, and want to hit that with Pete Najarian at 10:05.
Number 3.
We're never quite sure how. We're never quite sure when. But we always know it's coming for us. Pain and misery.
As Cousins hangs in, fires, pass caught, touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith, welcome back to the lineup.
The Vikings' best player this preseason, rising star tight end Irv Smith Jr., showing out this preseason, showing out on Friday night, was on TV even in the fourth quarter, talking about how excited he was about the Vikings offense. And then, so sometime in between the course of that game and his interview, him getting on a plane, flying back to Minnesota, having an off day, Irv Smith gets hurt. And Smith will miss at least the start of the regular season. He's expected to fit meniscus injury. A meniscus injury that didn't show up during the game or after the game, but sometime in between. That's the thing. We're never quite sure how. We're never quite sure when. But we always know that pain and misery is right there around the corner. And it's coming for us as Minnesota sports fans. We are just received word that, yes, the chair of the Minnesota Sports Misery Commission will meet the media. That is going to be at, 2 hours, 11:20. Plus, huge week for the Lynx. 3 home games. How you can help? We'll talk with General Manager, Head Coach Cheryl Reeve. She's on at 9:30.
The COVID-19 pandemic showed us how a microscopic virus could upend our lives. There is so much out there that we need to understand. But for every threat, there are heroes working at the edges of science and policy to protect us. I'm Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, former Detroit Health Director and host of Crooked Media's America Dissected. Every episode, I talk to the doctors, scientists, culture makers, and policy leaders who are working out new ways to protect us against our biggest threats. New episodes of America Dissected every Tuesday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming September 1st, Rewind 9/11.
Today, we've had a national tragedy.
An incredible plane crash into the World Trade Center.
A look back at the tragedy of that day.
Another explosion has taken place at the Pentagon.
It became very apparent that what was happening was terrorism.
Fox News presents Rewind 9/11.
The people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Listen on Odyssey,